Welcome back to Ways with Words, Something Unspoken, written by Tennessee Williams, Part 4. In this part, we'll learn a few details about the characters. The play is a study of the contrasting personalities. Cornelia is a proud and wealthy spinster who has brought Grace to her house as her secretary 15 years ago when Grace's husband died and Cornelia herself was alone after the death of her mother. In those 15 years, a love hate relationship has developed between them. Although a bond of real love exists, neither woman has been able to break the wall that separates them and achieve communication and fill the void of their loneliness. Cornelia is strong and domineering. Grace, though more feminine and fragile, has more strength under her quiet tone and manner. At the same time that she lets to be dominated by Cornelia and in a way likes it, she also resents it. On the other hand, despite Cornelia's arrogance and cold manner, she has been devoted to Grace and resents Grace's inability to acknowledge and reciprocate her outspoken affection. It was on this particular day, 15 years ago, that Grace came to stay with Cornelia. So Grace has a strength even though she seems to be more submissive, and Cornelia has a weakness, that is her affection towards Grace, which under her expressive, dominating nature, that is there, that particular affection and her sentimentality towards Grace. So, to commemorate or to celebrate that uh, anniversary, 15 years of Grace's coming. For that reason, she gives her 15 roses, one for each year. And as she recollects the occasion, she attempts to finally break the wall and reveal the something unspoken that has existed between them. Strangely enough, she becomes sentimental in this conversation, revealing the other side of her personality. Grace cuts in upon her sentences, fearing that an intimate conversation may uncover unnecessary feelings between them. So she cuts in upon her sentences. She tries to evade the conversation. She is, as Cornelia says, frightened of anything that betrays feeling. Or rather, Grace doesn't like to express her feelings and she is frightened of any occasion which betrays her feelings. On this same day, the local Confederate Daughters chapter is going to elect its president, and Cornelia is instructing a friend on how to carry on her campaign. We have already seen these things. The instruction is given in a series of telephone conversation which allows us to see Cornelia's snobbery, arrogance, and prejudice. She will only accept election by acclamation and refuses to enter in any kind of competition. The proceedings of the election are communicated to her by telephone calls which interrupt her conversation with Grace. An opportunity that Grace welcomes, being so frightened of Cornelia's sentimentality and possible revelation. So Grace is relieved that there are conversations or telephone calls in between their conversation, and that helps her stop Cornelia from being sentimental. Cornelia loses the election, and when Grace hears this result, a slight equivocal smile appears momentarily on her face. Not quite malicious, but not really sympathetic. It seems that Cornelia's defeat establishes some balance in their relationship. Grace then sees the roses and admires them, and as she exclaims, "What lovely roses! One for every year," the curtain falls. So maybe they will continue to be strangers within the same house, or maybe some kind of closer relationship may develop between them, since Cornelia has been defeated and she somehow has a sense of her loneliness. But that probability is less because we find Cornelia talking about how eligible she was for becoming member of any other uh, association. So her pride has is actually continuing. So to conclude, there are no external circumstances interfering in this relationship. There is no actually external situation which creates this kind of a wall between these women and preventing communication. It is the women themselves who are unable to establish communication. Evidently, the resentment they have against each other and their inability to come out in the open, lay their cards on the table, and finally confide in each other are the main reasons for this incommunicability. So they are not able to be open with each other. That is the reason for this uh, something unspoken remaining between them. The roses may continue to come every year, but something will remain unspoken between them and they will go on together in their loneliness. Thank you.